2 new Wizarding beers?
Will Universal recognize your face?
And when can we expect 12 houses?
This is episode 581 of the Unofficial Universal Orlando Podcast. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. It is me, Lee, your host. We've got no Michelle this week, but...
Hi!
I am joined by Tracy.
Hello everyone!
And Chris.
What's up? That was great. That was fantastic.
Cracked that one early.
No one has a clue what we're laughing at.
Very good, Tracy.
And I'm not going to call it out.
Very good, Chris!
Yes. There may be a few jokes throughout this episode to give you an idea of why Michelle isn't here.
Answers on a postcard.
It'll be mostly toilet humor, but yeah.
Anyway.
We'd be bummed if they don't get it.
How is everybody?
Enjoying myself at the moment.
Better than Michelle, eh?
Yeah. Just coming off a nice, relaxing weekend, so just great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so sadly for Kayla Roebuck, there is no Little Things with Seth this week. He is gallivanting about.
She's going to kill you.
She's turning it off right now.
Although, Kayla, if you want to see a bit of Seth, go and check out Sam, our good friend Sam Naj, who's in the Producers Club, his latest vlog from Universal from September. I can't remember what they were doing. Oh, it was... what was it on this? What were they trying to do?
I don't know.
Anyway, we were watching it and he was going past King's Cross and we spotted a Seth in the wild bombing across the background behind him. So yeah, if you want to see a bit of Seth, he's there. But we've come up with our own little things because there's still plenty going. Well, I have.
Yeah.
So, Tracy.
Yes, you can now try 2 new beers inside the Wizarding World. There is the Daisy Root Draft and the Dark Forest Ale. And both beers are available for $12 plus tax and can be found inside both Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley.
How does that compare normal to price-wise?
I don't know. I just order it, you pay.
Okay, Chris.
I think that's about the same price. I'm not a big beer drinker. Alexa's more of the beer drinker, but yeah, it's about average price, I think, for a beer in a park.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Daisy Root Draft is like a golden British ale, which you can find at the Hog's Head and the Hopping Pot, while the Dark Forest Ale, which is a brown ale with caramel notes, is served at the Hog's Head, the Hopping Pot, the Leaky Cauldron, and the Fountain of Fair Fortune. Pushing that one.
What is the Hopping Pot?
The Hopping Pot is the...
It's in the corner.
So you know second... Oh, Chris won't know because he can't find his way out of Diagon Alley.
You know what Carket Market is? You
know where the stage is at Carket Market?
Mm-hmm.
If you're stood looking at that, it is in the right corner.
Literally a couple of yards down.
Like to your right in that corner there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I did not know the name. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, what is it?
A brown ale? It's just a...
Oh, like Nuki Brown?
Yeah, it's a dark... If it was coffee, you'd say it was a dark roast. It's a darker...
Yeah, so what's a golden British ale? A lager?
It's like a lager, but if it's an ale, it'll be hoppier and less fizzy. I am looking forward to trying those.
Less fizzy. I don't know when that's going to be, but okay.
We need another nice ruby ale.
We need some money.
Well,
anyway.
we always need that.
Sure. Universal Destinations and Experiences has announced a new partnership with Visa and will introduce the new Universal Rewards Plus Visa Signature Card. The program will offer card designs featuring some of Universal's most beloved characters and provide consumers with exclusive perks and benefits, including the ability to earn rewards for Universal products, experiences, and travel. The card will be available in early 2024, and you can enjoy this is the same thing? Oh, yeah. You can enjoy a complimentary chef-selected appetizer with purchases of 2 or more adult entrees at lunch with your Visa Signature and Visa Infinite credit card at NBC Sports Grill and Brew, Twosomes Chocolate Emporium, and Cowfish. And purchase a pre-selected Universal branded backpack for $20 when you spend $40 or more with your Visa Signature or Visa Infinite credit card at participating Universal Studios stores and Universal Orlando Resort.
Chris, do you have a Visa Signature or Infinite credit card? I
have Visas, but I don't have any of these.
Well, you can't have that one because it's not there, but the Visa Infinite, I don't know. Would it make for the fact that you go a lot, would this make you get one of those credit cards?
Probably not, but I'm also like not the target. I would just want one for the logos on the card, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I have other cards that will get me way more rewards when I go to the parks. That's
Okay.
why I wouldn't get this, but it'd still be cool to have a Universal card.
Okay.
Not something that we can do.
No, we don't get them over. I don't think we can have American credit cards, can we?
No. We don't have an American address. Unless you want to change that.
We could.
Yeah.
You know, what is funny, I still have, because I just never closed it, I still have a Disney credit card.
Ugh, get rid of it.
Yeah. It's like 15 years old.
Whoa.
And I remember I was like one of my only cards at the time, so I just use it all year. And we'd take a trip over to Disney. I'd use all my points to pay for like our meal at downtown Disney. It was fun. It was cool.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's why you got to make them work for you, haven't you? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we also have a new menu item that's been added to the Today Cafe, and it's Al's Butternut Squash Tart at $10.49. I have seen it. It looks amazing.
It does look really good.
So this is a roasted butternut squash, applewood smoked bacon, caramelized onion, Gruyere cheese, creme fraiche, and an arugula salad. I still hear that in my head.
Arugula.
Inside a buttery flaky dough with fresh fruit.
Yes,
I assume the fresh fruit is on the side.
I don't know. We were watching it. You said you've seen it. It was on the Pew too when we were watching it, and there they had it. It looked really good.
It looks very good.
I mean, it sounds interesting. I mean, if one thing Today Cafe does, it's offer, unique sandwiches.
Yes, definitely.
I've never known you go in there, actually, Chris. I've never heard you talk about eating in there.
We don't go there that much. Not that we don't like it. We'll probably sometimes grab like a pastry or something. And then if we're starving, we'll get the Downtowner, I think it's called. I forgot.
The Midtowner. The Midtowner.
Midtowner. There you go. We get that. But yeah, I mean, I like the place. It's just, I don't know. I'm not a big sandwich guy when I'm in the parks for some reason.
Well, we spent 10 days on property and ended up eating in there like 4 or 5 times, I think.
We are British. We just live on sandwiches, to be fair.
There you go.
I'll stand by the statement I made on our trip report. It is the best food for value on property, I think.
I agree. Also, fantastic AC in there, so that's the thing.
I just like people watching. It's nice to get one of those benches across the window and just kind of sit and look out at people.
So otherwise we have to talk to each other, and who wants to do that?
Or watch the that's on the telly.
Ugh.
Who wants to watch the Today Show?
I do.
All right. So Universal Orlando has also debuted a new dance show in the Hollywood area of Universal Studios, Florida. It is Gabby's Dollhouse Dance Party.
Woo.
And it takes place in front of Mel's Drive-In, where they perform a quick dance number before meeting guests.
Yeah.
Oh, cute.
It's very similar kind of to the drive-in and dance thing that they started recently. It's in pretty much the same spot, but it's not obviously on that scale. I think if you go on our Instagram, there's a brief video on there that Madeline sent me over that I posted. If you're into that sort
Gabby's
of thing.
Dollhouse like a famous thing? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Lee watches it all the time.
And it's like a toddler's.
Oh,
it's a toddler's thing.
Yep.
I can see the draw for Lee. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on, Halloween Horror Nights is still ongoing, but that hasn't stopped Universal from releasing their holiday merch already. Of course, because all the shops have got it in. Why shouldn't Universal
Maybe
have
Easter
it in
eggs
as
soon,
well?
I wouldn't worry.
The new Christmas at Hogwarts line can be found in the Port of Entry Christmas shop, among other places, and it includes scented candles, dinnerware, a large Happy Christmas ceramic tray, a mug, a pillow, various stationery, Christmas ornaments, knitwear, and more. And again, I think there's a video reel on our Instagram sort of showcasing it all, and it's pretty cool, actually. But it annoys me because I wish they'd do generic Universal houseware stuff. No, like dinnerware and ceramic trays and crap like that. I want them
Disney
just
do it.
Exactly, and that annoys me. I'd love to have dinner plates and like Port of Entry themed
salt and pepper shakers.
I think people would buy it.
I absolutely think. I know they would.
Yeah,
I know they would.
Honestly, I think they used to do more of that back in the earlier days. Because I've seen, like, if you go on eBay, you'll see like random things pop up. Yeah. So I think I mentioned it before. I bought Alexa like a tape dispenser, but it's of Universal Studios, like a camera reel. So it's
fantastic,
really cool. And I've also seen like nice ceramic dinnerware plates of Islands of Adventure.
They would be awesome.
Yeah.
Just with like the Islands of Adventure like logo on them, they would be amazing. I think they'd sell a crap ton of them.
I'd buy it.
Yeah.
All right. For those of you looking to get soaked when visiting Islands of Adventure in the next month, your options will be limited as Dudley Do Right's Ripsaw Falls is closed for its annual maintenance until November 17th.
Okay. Goes down every year.
It's always a longer one, isn't it?
I can't even remember the
last time. There's a lot of track, though.
It doesn't feel like it was down that long ago.
I know.
It wasn't that long ago, actually.
No.
Wasn't it Bill's Rat that was down, though?
No, I think...
Wasn't this down early summer? Just before
Yeah, they drained all... It's weird. I might...
Yeah.
Anyway.
And having finally released the Islands of Adventure soundtrack to the clamouring public on YouTube Universal...
Not me, I've got it on CD, I don't need it.
Universal have now released it on 3 other streaming services, and it's available for your listening pleasure on Pandora, Apple Music and Spotify. Pandora? They have it there?
Yes.
Whoa.
Although, on the YouTube channel, they've released 2 extra tracks that aren't on that. There's the cue music for High in the Sky, and then the ride music as well, because the ride music one's about 12 and a half minutes long. And I mean, look, I have music that's not on that soundtrack as well, but I ain't got them.
Huh.
So I'm wondering if we will get more.
Would be nice.
Just drop the vinyl already, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
that's such a money opportunity there. Even if it's a small run, it's going to sell out.
There's obviously a reason why they can't.
Why they can or why they won't?
Either.
Really?
There's got to be a reason why can't you buy... I know people don't really buy CDs anymore, but you talk about theme park fans, if they have the opportunity to buy the CD, they will buy it. If you have a chance to buy it on the vinyl, look at the Midnight Syndicate stuff for Horror Nights. People go crazy for it.
Oh, yeah. And that's a specific, like, Horror Night heads, right?
Yeah.
This is, like, even a bigger audience, which is your Universal fans.
So there's obviously a reason why... I don't know whether it's a licensing thing where they can't sell it or whatever. I don't know, but it's...
I mean, it could also be maybe they're like gauging the waters with these releases, right? Because they released it first on YouTube, which is like, why? And then they put it on actual music platforms now. So maybe they're just seeing, oh, we're getting a lot of hits on this. Maybe there is interest or something.
But then at that point, why would you buy it?
Like because people still like a physical thing.
Yeah. Like if they sold the CD, I'd buy it and just leave it wrapped.
Someone can buy mine if they want. I'm selling it for about $5,000. I would sell it for $5,000.
So half mine, so sort of.
$2,500 each.
Okay, sold.
Yeah.
You're buying it, Trace?
No. I have to buy her half offer for $5,000.
Okay.
Yeah, that was all the little things. I'm sure there's more. There's something about a zoning thing that's been going on. I will leave Seth to cover that when he comes back because I'm sure he knows way more about that than us. But there is a big test that's a thing that's it's definitely bigger than little news. But Chris, you want to tell everyone about it? We kind of hinted at the beginning.
Oh yeah. So like Lee's saying, in some bigger news, Universal is readying the opening of Epic Universe by testing facial recognition scanners at Islands of Adventure. According to WDWNT, the scanners are only in use at select turnstiles at the park's entrance and remain in a testing phase, meaning that they're only available on a limited and unscheduled basis.
Well, actually, Madeline went on Saturday and she got to test them out, and she said it wasn't working super well, but she can see once it gets going how much easier and quicker it will be. She said there's a lot of kids having trouble because the scanners are up, like the cameras are quite up high, so it was having trouble getting little kids' faces. It's not like the ones in the airport where they move down to your level. So apparently they were having a lot of trouble scanning kids' faces for it. So
this info has been added to universalorlando.com.
What is photo validation?
Photo validation is a new, faster, and more seamless way to begin your visit to Universal Islands of Adventure. You just scan, smile, and go.
What if I don't want to smile?
Then don't.
You just scan, look angry, and go.
And how is photo validation being used at Universal's Islands of Adventure?
Fantastic question there, Tracy. So photo validation is used to access select experiences, including verifying tickets and ticket holders at Universal Islands of Adventure Park entry. Photo validation is currently in technical rehearsal and will be available on a limited and unscheduled basis. Guests may continue to use their finger scans at lanes without photo validation during technical rehearsals.
And are guests required to use photo validation?
Man, you're just hitting these questions out of the park. Well, see, thing is, using photo validation is optional. You may opt out at park entry or at guest services, right? And if you decide to opt out of photo validation, you will continue to enter the park using the same lanes as guests who do use photo validation. Adults who decide to opt out will be required to present a photo ID to validate their ticket.
Okay.
Oh, you've got all the answers, Chris. I'm going to catch you out at some point. What data does photo validation collect, Chris?
I have no clue. Kidding. I know the answer to this. We took a photo the first time you use your ticket. From that photo, the software builds a photo template. A photo template is a unique set of data points based on facial features. And then on subsequent entries to Universal Islands of Adventure, a new photo template is created and will be compared to the stored template to validate your ticket or other entitlement.
Whoa. And how long will the photo validation data be stored in your system?
Again, I mean, just fantastic questions here. So photo templates and images will be stored for no longer than 6 months after the expiration of the associated ticket or other entitlement. Now, this is consistent with our entrance finger scan process.
Okay, why would you need to keep it for longer than for up to 6 months after the ticket's expired?
After the expiration of associated ticket.
Like, surely as soon as the ticket's expired, bang goes your data.
It's probably a legal requirement.
I mean, I have no issue with it.
I've got no issue with it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've come to the point that all my facial and everything is out there.
Exactly.
So
everything.
I'll be honest, I would much rather them go down a photo validation route than a magic band type
definitely
scanner thing. Like look at the so I mean, we can actually talk about it now because we've used it. Look at the show it was trying to get into Mickey's Not So Scary.
Yeah.
Trying to use all that. It was a nightmare. It was incredibly stressful actually.
Yeah. I mean, I'm anything is better than rubbing the finger scanner thing with nasty grease.
And they never work
I'm
properly.
okay with it. I mean, I feel like the tech has to be there, right? Because if not, then you're just going to cause even more delays. Which it was, they're probably working that out now during this phase.
I think it makes sense for them to test it at pre-existing parks before opening it up in your brand new theme park.
Yeah. And I mean, to be fair, this is nothing new, right? This is just automating something that other places do.
They used to have it. They used to have it at Universal. I remember. Tracy, remind me, when did we use it for Express? When we have it for Express going through? I remember going through Men in Black and it was awful.
Oh,
camera's still there.
Like 2015.
I had trouble with it every single time. Yeah, it will have been.
I'm trying to think when we would have had Express Pass for long. No, we didn't. We won't have had it in 2015 because we'd have had the kids with us. There was just a pair of us. It wasn't. Oh, I want to say it wasn't 2019. I don't remember.
Wasn't it like you have to register at the hotel, take a photo there, and then once you're in the park, they use that photo? No,
we didn't. I genuinely don't remember, but we've definitely used it and it was a mess. But it was a long time ago. I can't remember when it was. Anyway, yeah, it wasn't good.
I mean, hopefully, I mean, tech's obviously gotten a lot better since then.
God, yeah. I can open my laptop with my face. That's how good it is. Like, I unlock it. Yeah. My phone does it. Like, if they can do facial recognition to unlock your phone, they can do it in a theme park.
Look, I've just started using the fingerprint thing on my phone. This is how far behind I am with tech.
Wow. That still amazes me. A tiny little button on the side of your phone can register your fingerprint. Blows my mind. Yeah. I'm sure they'll do it over at studios at some point. And then, yeah, they've got a couple of years to iron it out, really, haven't they?
I would think so.
Like at least 18 months.
Yeah, I mean, it'll just be nice again, even at these parks, just using it, because if they get it down right, they figure out how to do, the best template for your photos so it works every time. I could see this expediting, the queues, the turnstiles in the front.
Well, everything, because if you look at all that information they've given there, they've specifically said validate your ticket or other entitlements. They're obviously talking about it being express passes at least. I don't know, hotel room cards or something. I wonder if it's something that they'll bring into Halloween Horror Nights for entry into Horror Nights rather than having to scan a ticket. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how far it goes.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice if they implemented into paying as well for things.
I don't think that's a good idea. That's too easy. It's easy enough as it is.
Another thing as well, it's going to make it easier for them because the algorithm will be able to recognise the guests leaving as well, so they'll know exactly who's in the park.
I think that's half the point, isn't it?
For safety issues as well, that's quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Moving on. Chris, please let everyone know how to get their house rankings in, because I am the only one privy to the listener top 10 at the moment, and I am not liking it. And it needs to change desperately.
No.
He's despairing.
I am very upset with a lot of those houses are right now, so please let everyone know how they can affect. Okay. Oh, yes. You will be yeah.
People, please send us in your HHN house rankings list from 10 to 1, and you can send those into podcasts@uuopodcast.com, and hopefully it'll fix whatever's going on right now with Lee's list, because I'm not liking what he's saying.
I mean, we've had enough in now. I generally say that you get about 20 in, and once you've got about 20 in, where they are generally is where they are. There maybe a couple might switch. And I mean, it's weird, looking at people's rankings. You've seen people who will have one house at 1 that someone else has got at number 10. It really is a divisive year this year. I've seen
Chucky's at number 1.
I've seen people with Chucky as high as number 4. Is what I will say.
You do discard those entries, right?
Unfortunately not. Let me have a quick look at the current house rankings. I'm not going to give it away. So I'm going to look at Chucky very specifically. Someone had it at number 4, someone had it at number 5. But then it's houses where someone's got one number 1 and someone else has got it at number 10. It's all over the place. It's the number 2 that's killing me right now, and that's all I'm saying.
You mean what's currently sitting at number 2 from the listener submissions?
I'm not telling you, because I think that's probably where it's going to end up, and I'm very disappointed by it. Anyway, Tracy, time for some Producers Club birthdays.
Yes.
Oh, look at that, Tracy. She's been busy.
I have.
Wow.
Yes, it is time for some Producers Club birthdays, and these are our Halloween babies. I've just realised.
Well, kinda.
They are. There's the next lot are going to be December babies, aren't they?
November.
That's what I meant. I'm just too eager to get to my own birthday. That's what it is. Right, we are going to kick off with October the 19th, and that is the wonderful Willis Ward's birthday. Happy birthday, Willis!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
And then the following day, on the 20th, we have the delightful Denise Harrison's birthday. Happy birthday, Denise!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Denise!
On the 22nd, we see the birthday of the terrific Thomas M. Bernal's birthday. Happy birthday, Thomas!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
He's given full name there.
I'm trying to figure out. He always puts it as that, so I always leave it in as that.
Okay. I wonder what the M stands for. Is it Margaret, do you think?
I doubt it.
It is now Thomas Margaret Bernal. I think it sounds really good. It rolls off the tongue. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Have a new name. On the 23rd, we have the very lovely Vicky Dawson's birthday. Happy birthday, Vicky.
Happy birthday, Vicky.
Happy birthday, Vicky.
Look, that was a difficult one. Trying to find a V word. And then on the 26th, we have the amazing Austin Cleary's birthday. Happy birthday, Austin.
Happy birthday.
Please cumpleaños, Austin.
There we go.
And then we have birthday triplets. Well, this is the 28th of October. Our final 3, we have the jubilant Jason Montegut's birthday. Happy birthday, Jason.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And the jocular Jeremy Frable's birthday. Happy birthday, Jeremy.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And finally, last but not least, we have the dazzling David Ross's birthday. Happy birthday, David.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, David, and you triplets.
We've met quite a few of those people, actually.
It's quite nice. It is. So happy birthday, everybody. I hope you have lots of fun, make lots of memories, and eat lots of cake.
Yeah, I'm going to push the Producers Club while we're talking about it. If you want to be part of that cool little crew, drop us an email at UUCult, UUOPproducers@gmail.com. There's a private Facebook group. You will get at least two exclusive giveaways, one of which we still haven't done. The stuff that Tracy brought home from Universal Japan is still sat behind me waiting to get. So if you get in quick, you might get in on that one. The thing I am excited about most this year is the exclusive podcast that we're putting out there. I'm going to call it out. We're doing myself and ChatGPT have been co-writing some UUOP sitcoms. We've released one already. There's one I'm halfway through putting together. I do
apologise.
Oh no, they're awesome. I think it's so funny. We're doing a Christmas special that I've just got ChatGPT to write, so I need to go in and just tweak it a little bit. It's hilarious. And then there'll be some merch this year, which for those of you currently in the Producer Club, hopefully should be going out this week, at least in the US ones anyway. So yeah, that email address is uuopproducers@gmail.com.
Come join the fun.
And even though she's not here, of course, we would be remiss by not going to an ad break to hear from our wonderful sponsors, PortKey Vacations.
Man, we need a vacation.
Oh, I got this.
Whoa, that's awesome! But I was thinking something a little more adventurous.
Okay, how about this?
Yes!
Woo! And how about some relaxation from Mama?
Oh, perfect. How did you do that?
Easy. PortKey Vacations.
For your next vacation, let PortKey Vacations take away all the guesswork and stress of planning. From air and hotel to theme park tickets and everything else in between, they've got you covered. Just visit PortKeyVacations.com and touch the PortKey to get started with your free, no-obligation quote request. With just one touch, and PortKey Vacations will magically take you wherever you want to go.
Welcome back, everyone. We are back from the break, and of course, we come back from not every break, but every other break with a pick a bow, and this one comes from Nicole.
Bow. Pick a bow. Bow. Pick a bow. Pick a bow. Bow, pick a bow, baby.
So this is Nicole Hubbs, and we are at Universal at the end of September, and I just got a bend the bow, and it's my first time having a bow, so that was a new experience, but I got the shrimp bow, and I thought it was excellent. I really liked the spice on the sauce. I didn't expect the avocado to go so well, but I thought it was very good. So for the first time having a bow, I would give it a 5. I would give it an oh hell yeah, because it was excellent. Thanks, UUOP.
Thank you very much. I like we're introducing people to bend the bow as well.
You need to.
Not everyone likes it. Poor Kayla obviously took one for the team because she's gluten free and went, and it was horrible.
Yeah,
and it wasn't worth it.
Oh.
But yeah, you can still get them in. We're still going with this till the end of the year. So, Chris, how can people do that?
Well, you're going to go into Universal. You're going to go to Bend the Bow. You're going to go order 1 or 100 bows. You're going to try them. You're going to record yourself reviewing, and you're going to send that in to us at podcast@uuopodcast.com. And we will play your recording and rank them and give you a final rank when we're done.
Yeah. It's coming together.
Yes, it is.
But Tracy, we've already announced it on this show, but of course we want to give people the opportunity to get them in early, so we've got a good slew of them to get started in the new year. So how can people get involved in next year's?
Yes. So next year's debate, which stick gets my lick? that title is not lasting long. In fact, it's evolved already in my head. Because...
Really?
Oh, yes. Well, what I already changed it to?
Lick my stick.
Yeah. Now it's gone very northern. Lick me stick, love.
Anyway, that's what she said.
So yes, if you want to join in and get yourself ready for next year's debate, get your recordings in. But first of all, you've got to do some stuff. You have to go to
lick some sticks.
Yeah, you do. You've got to go to the Freeze Ray Pops in Minion Land. Try as many of the pops as you can or want to, and record yourself ranking them out of 5. 1 being blah and 5 being
Oh, hell yeah.
And get those recordings to us at podcast@uuopodcast.com. Bonus points for posting a little video on Instagram of you doing your best northern accent.
And licking the stick.
And saying, lick me stick, love.
All right.
Because that'll just really cheer me up.
That would be funny. Yeah, and tag us in it. That would be cool. That would be cool, actually.
I need to see this.
Okay, right. So as we know, there hasn't been a lot of news coming out of Universal recently, so I've been trying to come up with ideas and things to fill shows. I've got one that I'm leaving until next year, and this one I was like, I know. I came up with a few questions that could potentially just be quick answers, or they could be debatable answers. I don't know. And then suddenly thought, I don't know, I'm going to throw it out to the Producers Club. So I threw it out to the Producers Club and got about 68 responses.
Oh, I thought this was a question for us.
So I'm like, yeah, no. Well, it is a question for us. There's a few people in the Producer Club misread what I asked and answered the questions that I sent them rather than using them as examples of ones that I wanted and
Jeff.
sending us more. Jeff didn't, actually. I'm not going to call anyone out by name, but there was a few.
I just want to mess with him, that's all.
Who doesn't?
And I thought, we've got far too many here. I thought this could become a recurring segment. So I have a Google Doc with all the questions in. We're going to do one now, depending on how long we discuss this little question here. I will throw it open to Chris or Tracy or Michelle, whoever's here, to pick a number, and whichever question comes up, that's what we'll answer. We might get through 3 or 4. This. We might get through 1, because as I say, some of them could be like a quick, oh yeah, or no, or it could be like knowing us, some of them we could get into a huge, massive debate. So the one that I chose I chose this one specifically for this week, because I think we're getting towards the end of Halloween Horror Night season, and I think it was relevant to this. So we've already kind of hinted at the beginning of the show. So the question I put to you guys is, do you think Halloween Horror Nights will expand beyond 10 houses? And if so, when? Taking a look at this year, everyone said this year is very, very busy. Now, it could be down to, Chris, what you've said, and having to... I was actually thinking about this the other day, Tracy and I were talking about it. I can't think of a year that's gone by where Halloween Horror Nights have had 2 relevant, huge IPs in the same year. And I think you're right when you said that. And I've gone back and I've tried to think. This, like last year was The Weeknd, but The Weeknd's probably not as big as Stranger Things 4 or The Last of Us, like currently.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because those 2 IPs are such. They're so like generally loved,
but right
it's
now
not
as well,
specific to a certain group that limits your people. It's just like everybody loves it for the most part,
but also like very, very current.
Oh yeah.
You talk about The Last of Us is probably in its biggest fandom ever, because people who didn't play the video game are watching the TV show and then going back and playing the video game, or watching walkthroughs of the video game. And then Stranger Things, everyone's been clamoring for it, and obviously probably still doing rewatches because they're waiting for the last season. So it could be an anomaly this year, just purely down to that, or is Horror Nights getting to the point where it is going to be that busy moving forward? So anyway, the question still remains, do you think we will move beyond 10 houses at some point in the future? And if so, when?
I think we will. I think we have to, because it is growing exponentially. Every year is busier than the previous one, with the exception of the COVID years.
The argument is, though, do they do extra houses to alleviate crowds, or do they do extra houses to add more people in?
Surely there's a limit to how many people can come in, though, and they must already...
That's a good point, actually.
...be hitting that limit. So we're either going to have year-round horror nights by that token. But what I want to know, what I'm thinking is, where are they going to put extra houses?
Well, let me just say this. I agree with Tracy, a couple things that she had mentioned. I think the parks themselves, horror nights, right? I think it's basically maxed out at capacity as to what the infrastructure of that park can handle. So, the bean counters are going to be like, yeah, let's add 2 more houses because we can bring in 50,000 more people. Well, you can't, right? Like the parking lots, like all that stuff sucks already.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to have any more influx of people coming in like that. I think it would make sense to add more houses to alleviate all the complaints people have, which some of them are justified, I think, of how long waits are there, how crowded things are. Like, you got to try to disperse more in there. I don't think you're going to add a lot of a lot of head count in there when you're bringing in more guests. But, maybe they'll be, I don't know. Wishful thinking is maybe they'll be forced to do this because, they're getting such negative feedback on how bad lines are. And it's not just Orlando. Hollywood's having the same exact experience right now, too.
This year, we watched, again, the Pew 2, and they went out for Hollywood. Those wait times at Hollywood are way worse than Orlando.
Oh, yes.
Dude, it's way worse over there. I've been watching so many videos on like TikTok and Instagram Reels. It is insane. Like, it almost makes me feel happy, like, to have Orlando next to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I don't think they can bring on that many more people. And we've said it before. I don't see this moving to Epic, and it doesn't work that well in islands unless you take a chunk of islands, and you can very easily and connect it to the other park. But then you still have the problem with Marvel and Seuss. That's right there.
I think as we talked about it last week. Was it last? No, it was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? I can't see them realistically ever doing anything in islands, not Horror Nights related. I mean, Chris, you mentioned it last week, 2 weeks ago. My brain's all over the shop. About them putting permanent structures in where the tent houses are. Now, I'm trying to think back to 2019, because wasn't there another tent on the left-hand side of Men in Black?
Yes.
So where's that one gone? What was there in 2019? Because there was Depths of Fear.
I don't know what...
House of 1,000 Corpses.
That's what yeah.
Yeah, I think... yeah.
But there wasn't anything there this year.
No, I think that tent was only that side that year, but then there's not another. There must have only still been 2 tents. They must have just put that one in a different.
Here, I'm looking back there right now.
What are the 2 tent houses this year? Oddfellow.
Yeah.
And the blues one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darkest Deal.
Darkest Deal,
So 2019, what were the tent houses? Depths of Fear. There was Depths of Fear, House of 1,000 Corpses, and
House of 1,000.
Nightingales.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so there was 3 out the back there at that point. So there must be room to put another tent house back there.
Uh-huh.
So there's 11. As far as we're aware, they still left that second Shrek theatre there, where they used to be, like where Killer Clowns was that year. There's 12.
I'm just going to float this out there. We're really not hearing anything about the escape rooms anymore. That's gone very quiet.
They're not going to put anything in there, though.
Convert it a year-round house.
I mean, you're right. I don't hear anybody talking about those escape rooms.
No, it's like let's just not mention it. It'll just go away.
I told you those days are numbered for that thing.
It's really sad. I think it speaks volumes.
And honestly, there's 2. You've got 2 options in there, 2 houses, which means when you want to strip one out, when they need to strip one out and
I don't think they're big enough for it to be 2 houses.
Just mini houses to taster.
I will say it's very, it's pretty small in there. Like, I don't know, it'd have to be like a micro house, if that.
I think that'd be fun, actually.
I think it's very telling that Tracy and I, who host the longest-running Universal Orlando podcast, haven't bust a gut to get in those escape rooms.
I'll be honest, I forgot about it.
I hadn't. I've heard nothing from listening to Chris and the guys to make me want to shell out $50 a piece to go in.
Yeah, I mean, visually beautiful. I mean, you don't hear anybody raving about it.
No.
It's just like, yeah, it's there. I mean, it's, again, we enjoyed the aesthetics of it. There was a lot of things we did like about it, but repeatability for me, 0.
Yeah.
Almost. Like I like you said, I don't even think about it.
No.
And Universal's pushing it hard too, like when you're in the parks with all the signage, the discounts,
really?
this, and even I told you this.
I'll be honest, I didn't notice, and if I didn't know it was there already, there'd be nothing that jumped out at me that made me go, oh, there's 2 escape rooms in the back there.
So it wasn't the last trip. It was probably like 2 trips prior. So I don't know, a couple months ago, whatnot. That trip, I remember looking over to Alexa and we were just talking. I'm like, they're really pushing this thing, because if you were walking down City Walk, they had giant signs, ads, and all over that they would put in the way of walkways. So you have to walk around this thing. It's not casually there. It's like in your face. Hey, we got 2 escape rooms. Go check it out up here, 2nd floor, City Walk. And I'm like, man, you don't really ever see that in the parks, not like in your face like that. So that's when we were like, they may be having trouble getting people going there. And then I think it was the next trip we went out where we met up somebody, and then we were hanging out, grabbing a drink at the bar up there. And we were there for maybe an hour.
Oh, you said, yeah.
Yeah, and like only 2 groups. I forgot how many. It was like barely any. I looked over at Alexa. I'm like, notice how quiet it is. Whereas on a normal day, it's like every 5-10 minutes, a new group is coming out.
Yeah.
But going back over, my concern... So, I'm going to answer the question and say, yes, I think we will see it expanded. But I don't think we'll see it expanded until after Epic Universe opens. And it's something that's been brought to my attention very specifically this year with Halloween Horror Nights. From having conversations with people, and I think I've mentioned it on the show, about how the budget is split. So the budget for Halloween Horror Nights is the overall budget, and we'll probably talk about this a little bit more next week when we get on to talk about the scare zones and the tribute store and all of that, the hotels and stuff. But the budget is the budget, and then they choose how they want to split it. My issue would be if your budget is the same as, so say next year's budget is the same as this year's budget, and then they're having to split it to put stuff in the hotels and stuff in City Walk and the Tribute Store and the Dead Coconut Club and the Scare Zones and another show on top of this one, and then add 2 extra houses in as well. I think it would be spreading that budget very thin. I think it's very noticeable where the budget got spent this year and where it didn't. Oh, and it would worry me that they were then trying to add 2 extra houses in, or even 1 extra house. I mean, I'd be interested. I wonder what the budget for a Horror Nights house actually is. It'd be quite interesting to find that out, but it would worry me where that money's coming from. So I think maybe once Epic Universe opens and they go, right, we'll allow you a bit of extra budget from what we're making from Epic this year to go into Halloween Horror Nights, to expand that, because we don't want to take people away from Epic Universe, but we also want to make sure that people are going to our original parks and not just coming here for that. So if they do it, I don't see it before 2025.
And I think it's still even a stretch to think that they would do it. I don't know.
I know what you guys are saying. The problem is you stick extra houses in there. They bring extra, because they're going to bring extra people in. They've got to justify.
But there is a legal health and safety limit.
But what I'm saying is, they're not going to budget. They're not going to put 2 extra houses in, or even 1 extra house and not sell more tickets because there's no budgetary reason for them to put an extra house in when they're not making money off it. That's the sticking point. If you go that they can't put another house in and bring extra people in because the crowds are, the passes, like all the passes are sold out, the parks are maxed out every night, so they're not going to put a house in and not and not have that extra people into, you're not
justify.
There's no cost in investment. What is it?
Return on investment.
Yeah, there's no return on investment because you're spending money on an extra house, but you're not making extra money off it.
But there is when guest satisfaction's going up and happy guests do spend more on food and drink.
I think Horror Nights people are Horror Nights people and spend money regardless when they're there anyway.
That's exactly what I was trying to hint at earlier. So, like, let's all be serious or real here, right? All have love and an affinity for the park, but at the end of the day, it's also a business.
Yes.
Right. And then the people up above are going to run the business how a business runs. So nobody there is going to say, well, out of the goodness of our heart, we just want to give you 2 more houses with no financial intent behind that. It's just not realistic. But the other thing I was trying to hint at is if it gets so bad, to where you have these surveys and guests complaining, then maybe it turns into a situation of, hey, guest satisfaction is down 50%. We have to figure out a way to bring that up. Maybe it's adding new houses. But again, we're talking a lot of money there. I think a decent chunk of money to where people would also need to speak, with their dollars.
Yeah.
Because if they have lower satisfaction levels but still have sold out nights, multiple night, I don't think they care, to be honest.
Yeah, like if you looked at this year and they had 50% guest satisfaction was down to like 2, and yet all the frequent flyer tickets are sold out.
Yes, but they're bought before anybody's been.
It doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying though. Them being sold is not affected by guest satisfaction because they're already sold out before the event opens.
But for them to sell all those frequent flyer tickets, people know what they're getting into. We've been to Horror Nights multiple times. You know what to expect. It's never going to get better.
No, and also for every one person that goes, you know what, I'm never going again, there's 10 people clamoring to get in. So they're never going to be without that footfall.
It's that thing with Disney, isn't it? Where like they've done it for years. How far can we raise ticket prices before we? So it's rather than go, how can we spread crowds out? Well, we can't. Let's just raise the ticket prices so that less people come, but we're still making money, and that's the Horror Nights.
People will find a way to find that money. I mean, we had this discussion.
Yeah,
Well, keep in mind as well, Lee, that ticket prices obviously, go up over time. But if you remember how they do ticket pricing for Horror Nights, it is based off of, the multi-night tickets are priced according to how many single night tickets they sell prior. That's why they wait a couple months, right? Now,
which they never used to. They've only been doing that for the last 2 years, maybe 3.
I feel like. Are you sure? Because I feel like multi-night tickets always came out at least a couple weeks after the single nights.
Maybe a couple of weeks, but it was never. It's got way.
Oh yeah. Okay,
it's
not that long.
Way longer now. Like the single night tickets go on sale in like June, and then you look now, and the multi-night tickets don't come out until like the beginning of August.
Yeah,
100%. But I mean, again, I still believe that this is an anomaly year with having those 2 properties because. The ticket prices across the board went up 40%-ish, right? Which I'd be like, oh, you're going to see attendance go down like crazy, where in fact it went upwards.
Which is crazy.
Then, stopping the sales of frequent fear, rush of fear, all the multi-night tickets. It's not because they sold out of multi-night tickets. It's because they're selling out single night tickets, which are way more valuable to them.
Okay.
And that's why they stopped selling the other ones, because they're like, well, we're really selling out a lot of nights, but we also pre-sold these other tickets that we have to assure those guests can come in. So stop those sales. So again, I still go back to this year kind of being an anomaly. I think if you have a Horror Nights next year and, whatever the big IP is at that time, whatever, even if it's Stranger Things, but if you have one of those, it's got to reduce, that crowd level. Because again, Stranger Things, very recent, very relevant. Last of Us, I don't know if it was a strategic decision, but it's based off of the video game. But how lucky are they that the house is done in the year after a HBO TV series comes out that expands that franchise to multiple more people than would have played the video game.
Yeah, well, it's the strategic then, because as far as we were aware, The Last of Us was supposed to be at Horror Nights last year. That's what Descendants of Destruction was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And because the TV show got pushed back, that's why, I mean, I don't know how true this is, but this is what obviously we've heard on the ether and stuff, that's why they pushed it back to this year, because they wanted... Again, whether the decision from the start was to do it on the video game, it's still very interesting. But yeah, to wait to get the buzz off the back of, we'll get all the gamers and then wait till the TV show comes out, and then we'll get all those people that go, all right, it's not the TV show, but I agree.
Yeah. I 100% agree.
Yeah. Interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, next year is going to be very telling, depending on what IPs we get, obviously.
Just give me 10 all originals and I'll be super happy.
Absolutely.
The attendance go down and
I mean, to be fair,
paradise.
It looked like it was heading that way.
Uh-huh.
And then we picked back up with IPs again, which, to be fair, this year's IPs are pretty solid.
Yes.
Overall, there's a dark horse in there that I don't think a lot of people like, which is quite high up on the listener list. It's quite high up on my list, to be fair.
Uh-huh. It's always the case.
But I know a few people have got it very low on their list, and that's because it scared the absolute out of them. We'll just leave it there.
Okay. I was trying to figure out which one, but yeah.
You see what I mean? So this is it. We've talked for like 25 minutes on that topic, but there's other questions in this list, which I'm not going to go into now because I don't want to get another one that we might talk 25 minutes about.
Wait, I'm just curious, what are our number options? How many do we have?
1 to 65.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Even Michelle sent some in.
What number was that?
We need 4 more entries, guys. Just 4 more entries.
That was one, because I just started off myself. I was going to put a few in there. I thought, I'll just chuck it out to the Producers Club, and didn't expect the glut of questions that we got, and thought, well, we might as well just try and do them all over the course, because a lot of them aren't necessarily time relevant. So even if we did one in 6 months' time, the question potentially could still...
Yeah.
I love this. I mean, this is literally the basis of the show. It's what's a topic and talk about it for an hour.
Yeah. And especially when we don't have time to prepare, so it's properly off the cuff.
Yeah, because I'm not even, like, obviously I know what they all are, but by the time pick a random, Chris comes in 2 weeks' time and goes, number 53, I'm not going to have a clue what it is until, because I'm not putting it in, I've got my Google Doc then, I'll just go to number 53 and that'll be the question.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. There's some good questions in there, actually. Some really good ones that I would never have even thought of asking, but like, that could be an interesting debate. Because like I say, some of them might be just like, no, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
And then other ones will go for 20 minutes on it like we just have. Cool. Well, that is going to wrap up another podcast. We are getting very close to episode 600, guys. And very close to the end of the year. I'll be glad to see the back of this year, if I'm honest. But yeah, we're going to end the podcast, as we always do, with a universal. Tracy, I need you for 2 weeks' time to write me a succinct description of what we are going to be asking our listeners to come up with for the end of the show next year, because I can't do it.
Next year?
Yes. You know. How is it?
Okay.
But I can't. It's a way of describing it so
you give
people
me extra
get
work,
it.
And
Not right now. You've got 2 weeks.
Jesus Christ. I don't think you realise what a third-year workload's like.
I don't care.
I haven't got time to pee.
For anyone who listens to Hollywood Babylon, how they end their show is kind of how we're going to end ours. But I will get Tracy to write so we can, because I can't explain it succinctly enough so everyone
understands
your new word? What. No.
Good.
Listen, all I hear are compliments coming from Lee to you, Tracy. So
exactly.
And all I'm going is, oh, well, I guess I want to sleep now.
Oh, shut up.
That's my 10 minutes sleep gone.
He's complimenting you very succinctly. I'll say that much.
Yeah, I love you guys too. Anyway, we're going to wrap up this episode with the Universal Is, and this one comes from Francesca Morales. So for this week, we of course will see you back here next week, and Francesca says Universal is wonderfully made. See you next week, everyone.
That was another episode of the Unofficial Universal Orlando Podcast, the best and only podcast about Universal Orlando on the island. Check us out on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Pinterest. Just search UUO Podcast. For all the podcasts, news, and articles, check out our blog at uuopodcast.com. Contact us at podcast@uuopodcast.com. Join the Producers Club by emailing us at uuopproducers@gmail.com. Listen and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Check out our friends, the Theme Park Duo, for all your other theme park news, and email Michelle at portkeyvacations.net to book your next trip. So until next time, this is Amity 6, call off the Marines, we're coming home.